Good morning, evening, or night, wherever you are. Welcome to WHAM today. Take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let's drift through the whispers of today's world, one quiet thought at a time. As we wrap up Sunday, 18th May 2025, let's see what stories are unfolding around us. China is strategically enhancing its economic influence in Asia via the Greater Bay Area, navigating a complex global landscape. The nation has implemented anti-dumping tariffs on specific plastics imported from the United States, the European Union, Japan, and Taiwan. NVIDIA has clarified that it is not transferring GPU designs to China, despite reports of a new operation in Shanghai. Hong Kong is seeing an increase in mainland Chinese retailers who are benefiting from lower rental rates. Hong Kong's stock market is surpassing mainland China's performance, marking the biggest difference since 2008. The esports organization NIP, Ninjas in Pajamas, which is based in China, is expanding internationally, including establishing a presence in Abu Dhabi. India's economic landscape shows several key developments. Foreign investors displayed renewed confidence in the Indian market by injecting Rs. 18,620 crore into Indian equities during May. The country's forex reserves have reached a 7-month high of $690.60 billion. The National Stock Exchange, NSE, has achieved the status of India's largest unlisted company, with over 1 lakh shareholders, reporting a 47% profit jump, highlighting its strong financial performance and investor base. Anand Rathi's Mehul Kothari recommends MNDC, Edelweiss Financial Services, and Gale, India, as promising stocks to buy under Yodit 200, reflecting positive investment opportunities within the Indian market. Trade relations with Bangladesh have encountered strains, leading to India restricting some imports, a move that potentially reflects underlying diplomatic or economic tensions. Germany's perspective on Russia-Ukraine talks indicates that they fell short of hoped-for progress. The nation's medical cannabis sector continues to see considerable expansion. In a concerning aviation event, a Lufthansa flight en route to Spain experienced a brief period in 2024 where the cockpit was unattended after the co-pilot fainted. Furthermore, Germany is now set to join the United Arab Emirates in printing Syrian currency. Shifting focus to Syria, the country is changing its strategy for currency production. It is moving away from Russia and now partnering with both the United Arab Emirates and Germany. Russia's role in the production of Syrian currency has ended. The United Arab Emirates and Germany are now taking over this function. The country's discussions with Ukraine were considered by some to be less productive than desired. The United Arab Emirates is expanding its economic relationships in the Middle East. It will now participate in printing Syrian currency alongside Germany. Russia is preparing to launch an intercontinental ballistic missile, as reported by Kyiv. To counter sanctions, Russia has deployed fighter jets to protect its shadow oil tanker fleet, reflecting strategic economic maneuvers. The Russian economy is projected to contract, facing a £55 billion GDP reduction. Furthermore, Russia has streamlined the procedure for residents of Georgian breakaway territories to obtain Russian citizenship. But in diplomatic developments, Russia and Ukraine swiftly agreed to a prisoner exchange involving 1,000 individuals from each side. Poland's political landscape is focused on the upcoming presidential election, a crucial moment that will likely shape whether the nation continues its pro-European trajectory under the leadership of Prime Minister Donald Tusk. Across the European Union, Chinese e-commerce giants like Temu and Shein are escalating their advertising spending, reflecting their strategic expansion into the European market. Possibly influenced by growing trade uncertainties with the United States. Furthermore, a significant portion of global carbon emissions, approximately 1/5, are being indirectly supported by billions of euros in European investments that are classified as green, raising questions about the true environmental impact of these financial flows. South Korea is seeing vigorous political activity as presidential hopefuls prepare for their first debate, with Kim Moon-soo emphasizing economic reform over populist approaches. Amidst ongoing market uncertainty, Kim Tae-hyun has launched a high-revenue public hedge fund. The real estate market is also shifting, with the supply of office hotels projected to fall dramatically to roughly a third of 23 levels in the near future. Saudi Arabia's financial landscape shows increasing U.S. Treasury holdings, reaching $131.60 billion in March. Expatriate remittances also surged, hitting a near 9-year peak at $4.13 billion in the same month. The kingdom is aggressively pursuing artificial intelligence, with NVIDIA expected to sell over 18,000 AI chips to the nation. An ambitious $13.30 billion investment opportunity in the Hale region is being promoted, highlighting Saudi Arabia's dedication to economic diversification. Following peace talks in Turkey, Russia launched its largest drone attack of the war on Ukraine. A prior Russian strike on a bus killed 9 people. President Putin declared his intention to eliminate the causes of the conflict. Moscow questioned Kyiv's authority. They asserted the choice of signatory is crucial to any peace agreement. Japan's economy experienced a greater than anticipated contraction, influenced by tariffs imposed by the United States. In technological advancements, Japanese rail companies are investigating the potential of superconductor technology to enhance both labor and power efficiency within their operations. Separately, an analyst forecasts that Nintendo will achieve sales of 20 million units of its anticipated Switch 2 console during the current fiscal year. Shifting to Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government is facing increasing pressure over its handling of rising housing costs. The opposition is calling for immediate action to address affordability issues impacting many Canadians. In business, Canadian National Railway, CN, reported a slight dip in quarterly profits, citing weaker demand for certain commodities. Across the Atlantic, France is preparing to host the upcoming Summer Olympics amidst heightened security concerns. President Emmanuel Macron has pledged to ensure the safety of all participants and spectators. Economically, France is also grappling with rising inflation, prompting the government to implement measures aimed at easing the burden on households. Meanwhile, in Germany, debate continues over the country's energy policy. The government is facing pressure to accelerate the transition to renewable energy sources while ensuring a stable and affordable energy supply. Germany's unemployment rate remains relatively low, but concerns persist about the long-term impact of global economic uncertainties. Australia may be on the cusp of a house price boom, according to an economist. Elsewhere, Answer's new CEO intends to assess the company's New Zealand operations during an upcoming visit. Furthermore, La Trobe Financial has been valued at over $3 billion. In the United Kingdom, London's prime residential property market is seeing strong interest from ultra-wealthy Asian buyers, particularly in developments such as the OO Residences by Raffles, located in the historic Old War Office on Whitehall. Singapore is emerging as a potential listing destination for companies based in mainland China or Hong Kong, with several considering IPOs, dual listings, or share placements there over the next 12 to 18 months. Influenced by current trade tensions, the United States is seeing political debate as former Vice President Mike Pence has urged Donald Trump to reject a reported offer from Qatar of a $400 million Boeing 747-8 jet as a gift. In Italy, Thea Duncan Prando, an American entrepreneur and founder of Doing Italy, lives in Milan, paying $1,850 monthly for her 3-bedroom apartment. The United Arab Emirates is expanding its influence in Africa through increased investment, aid, and overall engagement, stepping in as the United States and other major economic powers scale back their involvement. South Africa is seeing Johannesburg authorities contemplate using the Expropriation Act to seize buildings without compensating the owners. Gaza is experiencing heavy casualties, as Israeli strikes have reportedly led to at least 103 deaths, according to medical sources. Indonesia is enhancing its trade facilitation efforts with South Korea through increased utilization of various schemes. Portugal has eased restrictions on importing electricity from Spain after a recent power outage. Pakistan's economy is showing signs of recovery, described by some as a mini-miracle. Turning to Canada, Prime Minister Carney has announced that the federal budget will be unveiled in the autumn. And that's a wrap for today's news, because even headlines need a nap. Stay curious, stay kind, and let the noise fade as you find your quiet. Take care, stay awesome, and I'll see you next time on WHAM Today.